3, 2, and... Greetings, wayward travelers. Come on in, and welcome to the Red Hare Inn. I am your Innkeeper and Dungeon Master, Logan Hanley, here to spin you and the adventurers you see before you a yarn through the lands of Ecriom. Before we get started, a few shout-outs, a few bits of sponsor information, and then we'll get on with tonight's session. First, Brianna Flame, the amazingly talented creator of the overlays that you see here before you. Check out Brianna Flame for any sort of custom overlay, photography, or graphic design needs. Next, Esoteric, the amazing cartographer extraordinaire who is responsible for the art, or the map of Ecriom that you see behind me. Check out Esoteric if you would like a map of your own done for your D&D, TTRPG, whatever world. And then lastly, Del Borovic, the amazing artist who did the character art that is down below me for all of our players here. Check out Del if you're looking to get your own custom characters done, or I know they do some other stuff in the drawing and digital design aspects as well, so check them out. Next, sponsors, Dragon Rock RPG, Daniel Lieberman, Renee Beauregard, bringing unique and creative content to the TTRPG community. Whether it's writing their own content or collaborating with other creatives, their goal is to bring their extensive expertise and experience to any materials that they work on. Next, Umbral Oculus Dice, and we'll be giving away, I gotta set it up here in a, oh, I forgot, that's what I forgot to do. But we have this beautiful, gonna get eaten. I need to get some light on it. There, that's better. Nope, not working. Anyway, it's in our story, but it's a beautiful, like, purple and orange with a bunch of little gold flecks in it. D20 with gold lettering. Taryn Hackett, the amazing Eden of the Briar, is a purveyor of hand-poured and polished artisanal dice. Umbral Oculus is conjuring relics from beyond the veil for players and DMs to enjoy at their tables. Use the code Red Hare Inn, all capitals, for 10% off your purchase. And then, yeah, last but not least, the Initiative Order. TO is a collective of passionate TTRPG players and creators that want to help the community thrive and grow. The main goal of TO is to explore and experience all types of gaming systems while creating an inclusive community for all our players and viewers. And I know I personally, I think they are coming out with their June games soon, and are looking for DMs to sign up. So if you are a DM that wants to try a new system or play something old that you really enjoy, head on over to TO and tell them that you want to run some games. Yeah. Now, without any hesitation, the spectacular cast of the Ecriom Expeditions, the yet-to-be-named Barefoot Bandits themselves. We're going to start with Eden of the Briar.
Who?
Taryn.
Just kidding. Hi, everybody. Taryn Hackett, also known as Val Rook across the socials. Generally creative human, TTRPG player, and GM, an Eldritch entity, and also a dice maker, again, under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. UL_dice on the Instagram. Working on pours and polishing right now. Pretty soon I'll be amping up to help do dice for Emerald Templars Kickstarters. We're going to be doing lots of that. But I also have a new show starting out, probably, I'm thinking, I don't know, mid-June. No official announcement, but definitely be paying attention to my socials for that official announcement, because I've got a pretty cool cast lined up, and I'm a sci-fi nerd. So, do that thing and stuff. And I have other cool things that I can't say yet, but I'm also working on a cool thing, and I get to unleash a little bit of my Eldritch oomph into Dungeons and Dragons. So it's gonna be good shit.
Such good shit. Hi, everybody. I'm Renee Beauregard. I am one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. You can find us at Dragon Rock RPG on Facebook and Twitter, and at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram. We are gonna talk about new things that we're gonna release soon. I believe we've nailed it down to druids. Daniel will correct me somewhere, if I'm wrong. We are currently working on our next iteration of the Mythical Melee, which you will see in late July and into August. We just started putting together some things for that, so look forward to seeing the socials on the initiative order for more information on that. Other than that, I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to see what mess my sister creates on the boat we're getting on, right, dear?
I resent that, Perrin. No, I'm just kidding. It's totally going to be me just throwing up all over the deck. But hello, everyone. Yes, be prepared for the crazy chaos that's going to come from us being on a boat. I am Utahime. I'm a cosplayer, occasional streamer on my own channel, which I will just say stay tuned. Hopefully I get on my own channel eventually. I'm on everyone else's, but you can find me also too on Twitter at Brianna DeCoster. I'm up to lots of different tabletop shenanigans. Actually, at the end of the week on Friday, you can catch a special edition of Emerald Templars that I get to play test with that _ D'Angelo in chat and some other amazing peeps. And that's going to be on Latin X and Games, which is going to be amazing at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So please stay tuned. Tomorrow, you can catch me, my character Angel Dubois, on the day shift on Renegade Games, their channel. So definitely tune in. That's at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. Yeah, you catch me here every other Tuesday. But I'm going to pass it along down below. Whoever wants to go.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Eddie, the Discount Bard. You can find me on all the various social medias at Discount Bard. I'm a actor, voice artist, real-life jack-of-all-trades, master of none, and purveyor of shenanigans. You can normally find me on twitch.tv/discountbard, where I put myself through the ringer for your entertainment, and hopefully to bring a little bit of light to your day. Otherwise, you can find me on wonderful channels like this one, where I'm surrounded by incredible talent and get to be the low-key addition to said cast. But in either case, happy to be here as Arch, our lovely little goblin artificer, ready to get himself into his own little sense of trouble. And with that, I'll pass it casually along.
Oh, hey, what can I say? It's Jay, Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual, and that's all.
Yeah, right.
That was way too short to be a casual entrance.
That
Or
felt
it's
wrong.
exactly the right length to be a casual entrance.
But what about the
Deep breath.
critically
Yeah.
acclaimed
What in the world?
TTRPG?
That was
I mean,
the
it
least
is-
casual.
I see, this is what I get. I try to be casual, and suddenly it's a problem.
Yeah, the one
Because
time you
we're
try
so
to be
taken
casual.
aback by
I
the
don't-
fact that you're trying to be casual.
Oh, okay, I guess if you guys like anime, manga, JRPGs, and TTRPGs, you should be on the lookout for Deep Breath RPG, the anime-inspired experience, where we're locking in some details, some ideas, and we refine some isekai-style experiences for you to really enjoy it. So if you wanted more information, you can also search me at Deep Breath RPG, also deepbreathrpg.com, or you can just type in animednd.com, because now that points to my work, because that's who I am now. I am Anime D&D. You're welcome. Is that more casual for your liking, all?
Yeah, that's about right. About right.
Adequate.
Yeah.
All this casual energy, that is why I have to be the brooding
Casually
one to make up for it.
acceptable.
Thank you, Jay.
Casually acceptable.
You are now free to resume the rest of the show.
With our formal continuation.
Yes, thank you.
Formally.
Thank you, delegate from Casual Creativity. Well, my friends, it's finally time. Come on in, take a seat, grab a pint, and let's adventure together in tonight's session of the Ecriom Expeditions.
What's the shenanigan? That's what it is.
Yeah, it does mean things. We're back. Sorry.
That was really inappropriate.
It was really inappropriate, but now we know for next time.
Was thirsty, damn.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. After saying their "until we meet agains" to Hale, the party spent much of their morning going around town performing various activities. Phin and Perrin went down to a small beach where the young seafling attempted to connect with the Changebringer. Eden and Art had a heartfelt conversation about Eden's parents before Art dove into a small project of his own. Taking the chitin that he had harvested from the large insectoids and ground up, trying to create a foundation for his research. But only being marginally unsuccessful in the task, he sets it aside for another day. Corvus tries to make contacts within Swaygut's alleyways before seeking out Phin, asking her to see what she knew of a set of dog tags that he was given as a child. Phin took told him of the link between the person who these dog tags formerly belonged to and the gods Bahamut and Arathis. The two then went to a local bookshop where a dwarf patron, astonished and flabbergasted that Phin had the ability to speak Dwarvish so fluently, basically shoved books in their hands to take for practically free. Perrin, making his way post Corvus Finara leaving, was begrudgingly pulled into an alleyway by a familiar face, his Guncle. The two had a conversation about the Guncle's place in the world, where his adventures would take him, and asking advice from Perrin, the young bard. Perrin offered the passive-aggressive advice that he could before sending the Guncle on their way. Art and Eden, meanwhile, prying their ears into the alleyway to try to listen in on the conversation, end up falling in and creating a mess for themselves, leading to Perrin sitting down and having a conversation with Eden about the circlet she wore on her head, and a little bit about the rage that she had inside of her. Eden asked Perrin to cut off one of the portions of her circlet, which he did, only to see Finara and Corvus walking up in that moment. Corvus, flipping out on Perrin, has a brief verbal confrontation with the halfling before things start to settle, and the gnome patron of the shop, whose window they had been staring in for the last 5 minutes, came out to politely ask them to leave from the front of the store. They walked and talked about their next steps and where they should go, and soon decided that they should head toward Deepwell. There, Corvus had connections, and potentially they could find answers. Their next step, to charter a ship from Swaygut to White Harbor and beyond. And that's where we pick up today. You guys have...
I did give money to that storekeep.
You did give money. Okay, you did give money to the storekeep. That's right. I think you gave him like a couple gold or something. I don't remember.
It was a gold.
I just remember him being...
Eden was making like really rude fey gestures at him. Yeah.
Oh,
I was trying to make it right.
Yeah,
I was trying to make it right.
I was thinking the bookstore guy, not the shopkeeper.
Well, I was just dishing out cash because I also gave him money. So.
That's true.
Yeah, she was just like, I'm sorry.
I was just balling around town.
Handing out
They're gonna
money
really
left
miss
and
her
right.
there.
Well, listen. I mean, when you stand in front of his store shop and then cut off a twig, yeah. But I mean, come on. And then you get all mean and broody. Like he's gonna be freaked out. So yeah, that money helps.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, as you head through the muddy streets of Swaygut, the ground kind of crunching and squelching beneath your feet, you head toward the docks that, for some of you, seems only like yesterday that you were getting off the boat to Swaygut itself. At the docks, you see several ships, as well as people coming and going, bringing crates and packages and boxes, sailors prepping ships for launch, some scraping barnacles and stuff off the hulls of the ship. What would you like to do?
All right. So first of all, we in order to get us to where we want to go, we have to charter a ship, or at least pay somebody to get us, allow us to be on the ship. That's part number one. Number two, we have a considerable amount of gold upon us each at this time. Is there anything else that we want to buy before we leave, and maybe aren't in front of a store?
Like what?
I'm
I've
okay.
never bought anything, so
Sure. For myself, my armor is very thin, so I'd like to potentially grab myself something that's a little more sturdy. That's for me.
Maybe it might be smart for me to try to see if they have something to settle one's stomach when they're crossing waters.
Right. Yes. We'll get you some medicine. We'll see if we can get you something like that. Art, Corvus, anything that you might want.
I believe I'm sufficiently prepared.
he's really shiny.
Well, I don't know. I have to see what they have. I mean, I don't know if we have any additional food rations or something that maybe we want to get for the trip. I'm definitely running a little bit shy on combustibles, so I might need a couple of things along those lines as well. I think that my inkwell's finally run dry, so I probably could use a little bit more of that, and Art's just going to start rambling on.
Right.
Focus.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So yes, absolutely. He's absolutely right. Food and rations are a good idea. Snacks on hand are always a good idea.
Salves and potions will come in handy, I feel.
Salves, potions. Yeah, no. And Eden, you're not wrong. We can grow those things. We can, most of us have the ability to use magic to do the things that we want to do, but to be conservative of those those resources. That energy is probably a good idea.
Why?
Because sometimes
I thought you said we were going to be safe on the boat, and now you're making me think we're not going to be safe on the boat.
No, we are going to be safe on the boat, but just, we want to preserve our energy. We do things when we need to use them and not, frivolously.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm hearing is we need more of that, what was it called, espresso? I need more of that espresso for sure.
Oh, God. Sure.
Let's find some.
Okay, so DM, I would like to try and find a general store. I guess is what we're looking for. A general store, an apothecary, and an armorist or a blacksmith.
A blacksmith. Okay. Yeah, very easy to do. You can. Is there one in particular that you'd like to go to first? Or is it just kind of scattered between?
The blacksmith is going to be the easiest. I'll be very honest with you.
Yeah, the blacksmith is located pretty coincidentally closer to the docks, just because that way they can ship some of the raw materials in and out a little bit easier. Gotcha. So the blacksmith you're able to find relatively quickly. You walk on up, and there's not really any sort of sign. It's just you can tell because there's a forge. There's a little shack where there's some stuff on shelves and whatnot.
There's a chimney poking out.
There's a chimney and a smokestack. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just a very kind of run of the mill, like rough and tumble type of smithy there.
Right.
With a human man standing there, kind of working the bellows real quick. Wipes his brow and notices you guys approaching.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
Hi. I'm good. Here to get something, I imagine. How can I help?
I'd like a little sturdier armor. Was wondering if you had any, perhaps a some studded leather, or perhaps a breastplate kicking around.
A breastplate. Let me see. And he runs to he kind of rummages through a couple different crates and barrels, and what's up? And he tries, halfling. And he pulls some stuff together, and he goes, "Well, I have one of both. The breastplate," and he pulls it out, and you can see there's bits and pieces that have been rusted on it. This one will sell for about 325 gold pieces. The studded leather's pretty, from what you can tell, looks pretty decent. There's a couple spots where the leather is starting to wear because it's right near the ocean and you have a little bit of that salt spray.
Sure.
But the studded leather will go for about 40 gold pieces.
40? Yeah, okay, no problem. You know what? I'm gonna... Yes, dear.
Would this help? And Eden will pull out from her bag a small bag of just gems.
Oh, we're gonna hold on to those. We should leave that for now. I can pay for this. It's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
But the gems are better for bartering for other things. But hold
They're
on to
not
those.
very tasty. Okay.
No. Okay. Interesting that you know that.
Actually,
Right. So, mate, I'll give you 40 gold for the studded leather. And anybody else want something to not put in their mouths?
I mean, this is mostly armor, or it seems like a lot of different types of metalwork.
It seems like different types of metal work. So you do see some weapons laying around or like on racks. It also looks like probably a lot of what he might have to sell is like he ships en masse, and not necessarily, he makes something and then puts it on display and then sells it.
Out of curiosity, do you carry anything more than these common goods? Specialty, if you were. Powerful in measure.
Not that I'm aware of. And he kind of turns and starts looking through a couple crates, and he goes, "No, these are the long swords I made last week, and these are a couple spear tips and arrowheads," and he kind of going through crates, rustling off a couple things here and there. No, not that I can see. I don't know any sort of magic, so I'm not. No, that's not the type of smithing I typically do.
Well then.
Sorry.
And Corvus goes back to brooding while tinkering with part of his gauntlet.
For sure. Art, you've got something that you might want?
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you have anything like small, portable, like a bowl of some sort or something? I would love to have a little something a little bit more suitable for my little friend here. And Dukar's head'll pop right out of the bag.
A bowl.
Yeah, just like a little food or water bowl or something like that.
surely you can find something like that.
Yeah. Sure. And he goes and he grabs like a helmet.
Yeah,
And
like a skull cap.
And he's like, give me a second. He tosses it into the fire for a second, into the fire for a second, pulls it out, and like takes his hammer and starts hitting the side, so it kind of gives that little bit of a curve, so you have something to hold on to.
Art is taking thorough notes while this is happening.
Splashes it into the water, and he's just like 5 silver pieces for the helm,
Sure.
bowl.
Great. Okay, so we got that. Anybody else?
Thank you.
I have a small dagger.
Okay. Do you have a small dagger? Preferably.
It can be like little.
Sure. Do you have a paring knife?
A paring knife.
Not your knife. I want my own.
That's right. You're okay.
I don't have specific knives for specific jobs. I have just daggers and
You have a small one.
More weaponized ones.
But right, a small one, probably about a couple inches.
Yeah, and he pulls one out that has like this leaf-headed blade to it.
Oh, that's very nice.
This one probably do the trick. 2 gold pieces.
2 gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Throws
And
it.
Finara, did you want anything?
Oh, no. I mean, I can't imagine trying to switch anything else for this lovely crossbow that Corvus fixed for me. I'm gonna stick with what I got.
All right. Right. So that's 42 gold and 5 silver, right, mate?
Yep,
Oh,
that sounds right.
I got mine covered.
No. And so Perrin just takes out 43 gold. So it's a five silver tip, and he puts it on the ledge of the window where he's talking to the man.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Thank you.
It's no problem. If you wanted a simple bowl for your animal, it's fine. Do you know where I could find the apothecary close to here?
Yeah, that would be Gertrude's place. Down the road to your left. It's right before you hit the second alley.
Thank you very much for your time, and have yourself a lovely day.
You too.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's go get you some seasickness preventer stuff.
We need other things for like injuries and such, just in case. I mean, we've gotten into some hairy situations, so you never know what we might face.
It's true.
Stuff
I would
for
say
injuries. I've heard that alchemy fire is pretty good for injuries.
I don't think you've heard correct, sir. And I'm going to continue to lead them to Gertrude's based on the directions I was given.
So you're very based on the directions. You follow them to the T. It's a small little 1-story home. In the front, like on the doorway, it just says Gertrude's Gems on it.
Okay. I walk into the abode. Hello.
Oh, hello. How can I? Is somebody there?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Perrin, and I'm here seeking some potentially some medical requirements here.
Oh, come on in.
And he walks in with everyone in tow, I imagine.
How do you do, ma'am?
As you walk in, the one thing you notice pretty quickly is that this place is pretty cluttered. There's a single alleyway that gets you through the majority of the shop to this back desk area, counter area, and they're kind of head barely poking over, you can barely see the nose and the eyes, is this little feathered black creature that you guys I don't think have ever seen before. And actually, no. Go ahead and roll me history checks.
Sure.
Oh, somebody lost a die.
Found it.
That's a 10 for me.
12.
History, you say? That's a 19.
A 19. A 7
and 21.
21. So Corvus and Art, the two of you have seen or have at least have knowledge and have heard of these creatures before. These are called Kenku. So you see, and they're a little bit rarer on the Isle, so there wouldn't have been a chance that y'all would have saw them in Eden.
Right.
Eden, we all know where Eden's been. But yeah, you know, typically they rely on mimicry and basing their voices off other people. You see this little Kenku bill their bill over the top of the counter. Just, come here, and waves a hand for.
Yeah, we make our way forward. Hello. We are looking for something perhaps to help my sister have an easier time on the ocean. She gets a little seasick. We're also potentially looking for some like healing salves or potions or something of the like.
No?
And things that go boom.
Yes.
Can I have incense?
You can have incense. And she hands, really quickly just pulls out like a little, how much?
How much do...
Give her. How much incense do you have?
5 gold worth, give or take.
Give me all 5 gold worth.
Puts a couple of bushels right on top of or packages of it.
He hands the 5 blocks of incense to Eden. So healing salves, potions, and combustibles.
Wait 1 second. Eden,
Hmm?
you said you had trouble swimming, or like breathing underwater.
I cannot breathe underwater. And I
Okay.
cannot swim.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, so if you happen to have, there's a special potion you can find. It's sometimes it's a little bit rare, but where it helps people to be able to breathe underwater. That would be very helpful in our
Because
situation.
I'm going to sink.
Well, I mean, we don't anticipate her having to go into water, but you never know what will happen. So it's always good to be prepared and ready just for anything.
What? 1 second. And you watch as she drops down, and then a second later, you hear a noise as if something's bumping into something over to your right. You watch as like one of the desks shifts, and like something almost falls, but a hand grabs up and grabs it and puts it back onto the desk. Before a second later, you hear and she stands up and I have this, and it's a small little bottle about that big, containing this kind of teal, like almost cloudy green colored liquid in it. And she walks it back over, kind of goes through the route that she had taken before popping back up and setting it on the table. This is what's called the potion of water breathing.
That's it. That's awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes.
How much is this one?
This would be roughly 200 gold pieces.
Right. Now, do you have any salves or potions that have healing properties?
Salves? No. Healing potions, and I do have a couple, and she pulls out this little makeshift, like almost like milk carrier, but with a bunch of little vials, and places it down. I have some of the standard, and I have some of the little bit better ones as well.
Okay. I'd like two standard and 2 better.
Okay. The standard would be 50 gold apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And the greater ones will be roughly 150 each.
Okay, right. So it's 300, 400, 600 for that potion, plus 5 for the incense. And you have things that explode.
Also, do you have any other like base chemicals?
Is there something in particular that Art would be looking for specifically when you say base chemicals?
I mean, anything he can get his hands on, really.
Okay. Logan is asking for clarification because Logan does not know what you mean by base chemicals. I apologize.
Perrin puts his hand up and just says, do you know where we could find an alchemist?
I make most of the potions here. There isn't somebody who dabbles with modern alchemy here, no.
Right. Art, we're going to have to put that on the back burner.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll still take anything you have that might be combustible, though.
Yeah, And she is... I don't know if this is combustible per se, because I haven't actually tried it, but she pulls out a vial that's probably about yay big. And maybe no more than an inch or two. And it's filled with this kind of charcoal black powder.
Oh, do I recognize what this is?
Make either history or... Yeah, make a history check. I think that would be the best one.
Corvus would like to as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Unfortunately, my history check was an 11 on that one.
An 11. You've seen powders like that, but you can't, you can't 100% figure it out. It could be blasting powder. You'd have to run some tests in order to figure out for 100%, though. That's where you're leaning toward, though.
Oh, wow, that's amazing! What is it?
22 for Corvus.
This, you would recognize it as like gunpowder or blasting powder. The person who sold it to me said it was referred to as blasting powder.
Ooh.
They didn't really say more than that. They cut me a good deal on it. Said it was quite hard to make, or at least dangerous to make. I don't necessarily know about hard. I haven't tried to rework the effects or figure out how it's made myself, but...
And how much is it?
I'd part with this for 20 gold pieces.
Corvus actually immediately just sets 20 gold and has the gauntlet hand out. I'll be taking that.
Corvus.
Okay. She hands you the capsule of blasting powder.
Corvus takes it, walks over to Art, crouches. You take care of this, you find a way to replicate. Yes?
That's a project. I love projects.
Good. When you figure it out, you let me know.
Eden,
You got a deal.
Hands it over.
would you mind parting with one of those gems?
Do they like shiny things? Hey, do you like shiny things?
Shiny things?
Yeah. Like this. And Eden will just open the bag of gems.
The eyes get immediately like super wide. Like
Would
this?
you be willing to do a trade?
Maybe a couple of these for what we have here.
On the table?
Eden just dumps them out.
Do you have the list of gems that we have in the bag?
I just know that it's worth some gold.
It's fine.
Okay.
I have it.
I know it's like that's good because that's what I have.
I know that's good because that's what I have.
Oh,
man.
Taryn.
Okay.
It's the gems that you got. It's the gems that you got in the warehouse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem: is when I got the bag, Eden was entrusted with the bag, but Hale was the one who took inventory.
Oh,
And
yeah. I forgot about that.
My Eden notes, Eden did not know, nor did she give it, because I take my notes from Eden's perspective, and so I only have the stuff she cared about, which is one gem that she kept for herself.
Right.
Yeah, you have the pink one.
Yeah, the rose quartz.
But beyond that,
Yeah.
So besides the pink one, which I imagine you would have taken out at this point.
Oh,
and,
yeah, no, it's
stored
like-
yourself. So you have five
she'll
gems. You have
stare at
five
it.
gems in there. Each of them are worth roughly 10 gold pieces. So you have 50 gold pieces worth of gems.
Okay. Right. So they're smaller-ish.
But they're
But
smaller.
but does this person hasn't seen
but
yeah,
these
but this
gems?
person also sees shiny.
This person rolled. So the individual that, yeah, y'all do you.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, these are very rare gems. You're not gonna see these like often in a lifetime. It's pretty amazing, right?
We found them in a box.
Make a. You were so close. You were so close. You had just something different would have gave you advantage.
A box hidden in the waters.
Go ahead and give me a.
Under a hag's body.
Foreign waters.
Just make them make a deception check,
Make a
Logan,
deception
please.
check now. It was gonna be persuasion. Now it's deception.
Okay.
Wait, where'd these gems come from?
Straight deception.
Oh no.
I wasn't present for these gems.
Yeah.
Can I, wait.
19.
Oh, there you go.
19. You see the
I
eye.
have like
the
a
head is
natural
kinda-
perception of like fucking 21 or something.
The head is kind of cocked and the eyes are just big and like just staring at these shiny gems, and you just hear, "Very rare."
Mm-hmm.
That's what they told me.
Yep.
How much do you want?
Look at
We will give you these gems for all of the things that we have asked for.
what the.
He just kind of like puts his hand up for a second, realizing he might be in a very good spot right now.
You know what? I'll say go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you also got inspiration from your sis.
I did see that.
He's a bard though, so does he really need that inspiration? We'll
You
find
never
out.
know.
You never know.
That's
30
a
million.
16.
16.
It's a 16.
16. Diane giving away today.
100 million.
She looks at you and says, half.
Okay, for half, and then so he's done the calculations. So with the like 300, because Corvus has already paid for the 20, so 600 was the total, 605, and so Perrin will put up 300 gold pieces on the counter, which is half, and just kind of shrug.
Banara will give Perrin like 150 since she's wanting to split.
Sure, I will. Yep.
Okay.
And then I start like taking all of the stuff that we've asked for, and I start putting it in my barter bag.
Ooh. You're putting it in there.
Yeah, because well, I mean, I haven't put the marble.
Oh, you haven't put the
thing
marble anywhere yet. Yep.
So it's technically it's just a bag right now. But yeah, no, I start collecting everything.
Yeah, you start collecting everything, putting into your bag. And
Thank you.
Do you,
Yes,
by the way, also carry ginger root and peppermint by chance?
Uh,
5 silver.
I put up a gold for Corvus on that one.
Corvus takes
I
it,
love ginger root.
puts it into his many pouches.
What do you do with it? Do you eat it?
This is not for
Do I eat it?
eating.
You don't eat the ginger though? Do you eat it? Do you know what it's like to eat the ginger root?
Yes. It tastes like ginger. A little bitter.
Yeah.
But medicinally can be used to heal or cure
It
an
can?
upset stomach. Yes.
Oh, right. So, did we get all that you have with that?
She grabs another like handful.
Yeah, I
Of
put
each.
another gold. I put another gold on the counter. I take the handful. I hand it directly to Fanara.
Oh, thank you.
I can
Oh, that's
show you
how
to
right.
make a really good drink out of it.
Ginger root with peppermint. Dash of honey, a splash of warm temperature. Not too hot, not scald. create something once taken daily to reduce the chances of motion sickness and nausea in many ways.
Really?
Oh.
He knows it
That's-
too.
And
That's
Perrin
not
just
the
kind of
drink
goes,
I was going to make. The one I was going to make tastes like fizzy sweet. There's a lot of sugar in it.
Do you have any honey?
Ah,
Corvus opens a pouch.
do I?
I keep a supply of honey on me at all times.
Oh, well, that's rather sweet of you.
As if she did this for me.
Corvus puts the honey back and starts walking out the building.
Oh.
thank you, ma'am, for your assistance today. Let's go, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, and thank you.
I really tried. I really, really tried to make a joke there.
Also, I've always
Just
wanted to
fine.
meet a Kenku, and this was a wonderful experience. So thank you. Bye.
That's a kinku.
Eden, he just points behind him and goes, that right there, that's a kenku.
Nice meeting you.
Oh, I didn't think anything of it because birds talk all the time in the Feywild.
I still have to get used to that. So that's everything that we needed to the docks, I guess.
Yes.
Get
Our
ourselves a-
super safe trip that you promised we won't need any of this stuff for.
Well,
We-
we got this, and then Fenara's gonna motion over to Perrin to try to get the water breathing potion.
Oh yeah, and he pulls out the
We,
water breathing potion and hands it to Eden. If for whatever reason the water, you want to try getting in the water, you could have this.
Also,
Let's save it.
we forgot the most important thing. We forgot to get the food, the rations.
Rations, right? And thank you, Art.
Oh, we
and
can use some lemons as well.
lemons, right? Okay. So general store, right? Let's do that, and I will guide us to a general store.
Okay. Yeah, you can go to a general store pretty quick. Rations will only run you. Let me double check real quick. Sorry, I have it up here.
It's okay.
Rations,
worries.
5 silver a day.
5 silver a day. There's 4 of us. So I will get. I'm gonna get 5 for each of us. There's 5 of us, so I need 5 of each of us. Maybe more. Let's do 10 for each of us. So that's how many silver? Sorry, Logan.
5 silver, so 10 for each would be 5 gold. So what? 25 gold.
25 gold. Yep. I will pay that, and I will divvy up 10 rations to everyone so that they have 10 rations for themselves. They do not have to ask me for them.
Yes, Art.
Art is also going to. If I don't know how the store is laid out or if things are behind the counter or whatnot, but Art is going to try to get his hands on 5 pounds of butter if it's available, or up to that, and 2 bushels of lemons.
Why am I not surprised?
We're making lemon meringue.
I'll say
pie.
5 pounds of butter will be. Now I gotta do mental math of how many gold pieces is a pound of butter.
Oh wow, gold pieces.
I'd say
That's some good
If
butter.
it's any consolation, a pound of butter is typically 4 sticks.
I can't believe it's not butter.
no,
That's what it
I would
is.
say it's probably 5 pounds. 1 gold, 2 silver,
Per pound.
5 coppers.
Oh God, you
That's
want
per
extra
pound or
math.
total.
No, total. So it's like
Total.
what? It's like a gold and 3 silver. We'll
Yeah.
round up.
Mhm.
And then for the lemons,
For the lemons, because lemons are something that are actually pretty popular around here. How many pounds did you need?
2 bushels, so effectively 5 pounds each.
5 pounds, or 10 pounds. Then
10
that
pounds,
would
yeah.
be. Let's go with a gold for that. Or no,
Cool.
Oh.
I'm sorry, 2 gold.
okay, so that was like roughly 3 gold.
Yeah.
Art will put 4 on the counter. Thank you.
Cool.
Oh, and he'll take one of the bushels and hand it to Finara. Here you go.
Oh, thank you, Art.
We are
This is for me, though.
adequately prepared.
Mm.
Now we need to go and find ourselves a ship. So let's get going to the docks, eh?
Yep.
Finn, can I see one of like a little piece of the ginger?
Oh, yeah, of course. Hold on. And then
Honestly, like
Finn's gonna
it's-
pass it.
Ian just takes like the tiniest bit off and then hands Finn back the rest and just starts like chewing on it. Thank you.
Finn will take the other piece and start chewing on it too. So then Eden's not alone in eating the ginger. I like
And
the
it
taste
tastes-
too.
Kind of spicy.
What does that taste like?
I like to say it has a little kick to it. Like it's a little spicy. You know, have you ever had spicy food?
Oh yes. It's spicy all the time. Maybe if I could try a little piece?
It'll open up your nasal passages and just open up everything. Here.
And Art will try to mimic what Eden did and take off about the same size piece, hand Finara back the rest of it, and pop it into his mouth.
We're doing this while walking, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
no,
yes.
I 100% assumed so. I imagined that you weren't. Yeah.
As
Ginger was my
spazzy as
favorite.
Art is, he can walk and eat at the same time.
Yeah.
Ginger
So,
was my favorite.
Very good.
you find yourself at the docks, back where
Baron
we
has to do
started.
more negotiating.
There are several ships up there coming and going. You see the dockmaster, this kind of more portly human, beard kind of down over his chest. He's got a clipboard in one hand, and he's kind of ordering and giving directions here and there. I'm imagining that you just go straight up to him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The person who looks like he's got shit in order, we are going to talk to him.
Yeah, and he's easily identifiable. He's barking orders left and right and getting ships moving, getting cargo loaded and unloaded. And, yeah.
For sure. So, excuse me, sir, and I like tug on his pant leg.
And he was in the middle of like turning in your direction anyway, and he almost like steps, like going to step through you. Sorry about that. Yes. Hi. How are you?
Hi, me and my friends here. We'd like to get a ship over to, and he turns back to Corvus. It's Deepwell, right? That's where we're going?
Yes.
Can you get a ship that gets us closest to Deepwell? I'm not familiar with the area, so I'm not sure if we can go straight there or if we have to go somewhere else.
You'll have to get a ship to White Harbor and then connect with a ferry that goes up through the rapids. That would be your best bet. You got a price or a time frame that you're looking for?
A price? If it's affordable and safe, that's important.
Oh, yes. What's your safety rating for this ship? This vessel?
Well, it would depend on. Okay, I'm trying, and you can see he's like looking at his clipboard, and I'm trying to determine which ship you would go on based on how much money you are willing to spend and what time frame you need to get to White Harbor.
How about you give us the options and we'll tell you which one sounds better for us.
With the safety ratings.
With the safety included.
With the safety included.
And how competent are you and your people to mend these ships? Do you sink often? Do you have monsters that creep onto your boat? And do you have hulls?
Eden, he doesn't operate the ships, and neither do his people. They just move the stuff on and off ships, and he just makes sure he knows what's in and what goes out.
Yep, correct. I can say I have, let's see, I have a galley ship.
Big ship.
That looks like it's scheduled to go to White Harbor. Do any of you have any particular skills?
I am.
Yes.
Okay,
He's a
Perrin just
performer.
pulls out his loot and just.
In what capacity do you request?
Can you work on a ship?
Like what?
Manning, working the sails, fixing holes if there needs to be, rowing if
Actu-
the galley
ac-
ship has a has a
Actually, he points over to Finara. She can fix things. I've seen her do it.
I can fix things and also to fix people. Well, sort of.
Okay. All right. Well, so the three ships I have available are technically four. I have a galley. That one's pretty big. Safety rating, we don't really do safety ratings, but it's got a scorpion on the front, or two scorpions on the front, catapults on the back. Safety rating would be, I don't know, high. Sure.
All right.
I think that's our one.
Well, we haven't heard all of them, Mark. Just give us a second.
We also have a keel boat and a longship. Longship doesn't have any sort of formal protection in terms of siege weaponry, but the keel boat has a scorpion on the front, has some room for rowing, has some below deck cabinetry for those who need it. The longship is just, you get what you get. You sleep on the deck. You row if you're asked to row.
Right. So how much is the galley per person?
Per person, the galley would be. Well, I'd have to double check, but would be probably about 30 gold a person.
Yes, and
Oh,
he just nods his head.
That's excellent. And the safety rating for this one is.
Hi, and he just kind of
Okay.
just
Well, I have to be sure, Perrin. We gotta make sure Eden is comfortable.
They have scorpions and catapults. It's gotta be safe.
Okay, I'm trying to make
Scorpions
sure.
are really
I'm trying to
mean.
make
Is
sure.
it alive or is it dead?
No, scorpions are they're weapons. They're big. They're weapons that are bigger than you.
Oh.
Mm.
Don't get it. But okay.
Corvus,
So-
what do you think? Should we go with the galley?
Whatever feels comfortable for the rest of you.
All right.
All right. Give me a moment, and do you have the gold ready on hand?
Yes, I do. Everyone, if you could give me 30 gold each.
You got it. Here you go, Perrin.
Here you go.
Collects that. And so I hand it to him. There you go. That's 150 gold.
All right, thank you. And he walks down one of the piers, and walks up onto this really long galley. Perrin and Finara, go ahead and give me history checks.
All right. Oh, that's 18.
That's a 12.
18 and 12. Perrin, probably you kind of recognize the colors. Finara, looking at the colors and looking at some of the symbols on the ship, and then watching some of the crew, you notice they all are wearing very similar uniforms. Looking at the flag that's being flown up at the very tippy top, you recognize the colors of the Zenthirim.
Oh,
What? Oh,
it's the Zenthirim.
that is.
This looks to be like a small warship. Like, this isn't, they say galley ship, but that has moderate protection. This isn't like a galley ship. This is a war. It's a galley ship in classification, but it's a warship.
What's this?
We're
This Perrin?
Oh boy.
we're gonna have to
Speak plainly, please.
I'm trying to find the words. These this trip that we're going to go on is we're just going to do as we're asked, and we are going no matter what it might be. I would recommend you do what you're asked, because the people on that ship are incredibly powerful.
Very, very much so. We
They
don't want
scare me,
trouble
though.
with them.
They don't look powerful.
Oh, they might not look like it from here or right now, but they are currently doing everything they can to be the conquerors of where we're from.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Do you
So
want me to hurt them for it?
no,
No,
we don't.
no.
We they are very capable and very, like I said, very powerful.
We're not prepared for that kind
No.
of heat.
No, we want to leave them alone, and we are going to keep a low profile. We're going to just, like I said, we're just going to do what they ask us to do. If they ask us to do things, and we're not going to mention anything that I just said.
That they're bad people.
You know nothing. We didn't say anything to you, Eden, except for we're going on a journey. Yeah,
That's it. Yep, that's all that we're going to talk about.
They are conquerors of sorts where you're from, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what lands are those?
Well, we're from the Isles of Lillithal, which is the oceanic nation to the southeast of here.
You're all speaking gibberish.
However, they are
You sound really
far
silly.
from that.
Well, I mean, they are as equally far as we are, and it's likely that they're here to exchange goods and gain further insights. I don't know what because if they're going to White Harbor, which is how we get to Deepwell, I don't know what their business is, but maybe we can learn something along the way.
DM, would Fanara know if they have kind of been somewhere within the Oasis, or at least just like we've seen them kind of in passing at the docks? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I am. The Oasis is more landlocked, so you wouldn't have seen ships, but you'd know the colors and you'd know the heraldry of the Zenthirim Empire well enough to be able to identify a ship that is one of their warships.
Okay.
Yep.
Do I know of their operation anywhere near Deepwell? I've never heard of them that far north.
You have
at all.
no idea. You have no idea who the Zenthirim are.
Got it.
Yeah,
Just wanna make sure.
they're not relevant that far north in Cantor.
Got it.
Perrin,
Yes, dear.
should we be worried?
Just don't tell them where we're from. And
You're from, or where I'm from, or where
where Finara and I are from, because we come from the place where they're trying to take over, so we don't want to give them any ideas.
So,
It'd be bad news for us especially, but also too just our group as a whole.
Noted.
so
Oh.
they're trouble for you?
They're trouble for most people from where we're from, and if I'm gonna be completely honest, they're just trouble.
Where we're from, I mean, we're all about peace and serenity, and we're not about all of that.
They don't seem that intimidating, though. They only have 2 arms.
Oh, there are many of them, and they come
There's
with
a lot.
many more of those. And he points to the ship itself.
Oh.
And that's a small one. And he points to the boat again.
Okay. So I was right when I said that the water's a bad place and there's things that want to kill me.
In that case, land is the
You
same.
just proved me right. Let's get on the stupid boat before I die. And Eden will just start walking that way.
Aaron turns to Corvus and just kind of like nods and goes, I heard you. You're right too. And he just kind of like follows Eden.
Yeah, as you guys are heading down that way toward the gangplank, the dockmaster is making his way down as well, and kind of stops really quick, and he says, you guys are in luck. Captain's willing to take you all on board and make an expedition north to White Harbor.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
I need to go to a library.
Thank you kindly.
You're very welcome. Yep, safe travels, and hope to see you back at some point.
Perrin is going to flip the dockmaster a gold piece for a tip.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm just going to walk on the ship.
Cool. You walk on the ship, and the first thing you notice is that the deck of the ship is very clean. You got maybe as you're coming on about a 5-foot main deck before it drops into the galley portion of the ship, where you can see there's a single sail, but then there's rows, about a dozen and a half on either side of benches. The front of the ship has these 2 scorpions facing directly forward, and then 2 right behind that are facing to the front left and the front right. And then in the back, facing the rear, you have 2 catapults that are facing like off toward the front, but to the left and the right as well. The helm is at the far back. Yes. Art.
Just to be clear, you said 4, that was a total of 4 scorpions and 2 catapults?
4 scorpions, 2 catapults, correct. Most of the crew, from what you can tell, is underneath the ship, prepping oars, prepping, the ports on the side of the ship. There are only a handful that are checking the scorpions, making sure they're good and tied down well enough, checking the catapults, making sure they're tied down as well. A couple checking the sails, like pulling them down really quick to check to make sure there aren't any holes or things that need to be patched before rolling them back up to depart. But you do see this very elegantly dressed, fine military uniformed tiefling at the helm. One hand on the wheel, the other hand kind of talking to this dwarven individual who very quickly salutes before kind of taking a step around the catapult and hopping down into the below deck area to talk to the crew.
Right.
Can we go introduce ourselves?
Yes, we should. Absolutely. Well thought.
Then Eden will beeline.
Yeah.
Because she's not seen a tiefling before.
Yeah, so you see this
She's just being nosy.
purple with like hints of red hued into tiefling, horns that are curled up, and then the best way I can explain it is like in Dragon Age, the one Kunari that has like the bowl out to the side and then pointed up. Like the Texas Longhorn style. There we go. That's a better way to explain it. Texas Longhorn style horns. And then a tail that wraps down and around that has these like spiked frills all the way down to the end where you see this almost arrowhead shaped tip. Female from the looks of it, or at least how they're dressed. This tricone hat in the front, or tri-tip hat, with huge plumage coming out of the top. As you walk up, she says, "So you must be the stowaways."
You could call us that.
Fanara in Infernal, just like assuming that basically like from her studies of trying to learn basic Infernal and about the culture of, she's going to try to say, "It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes, we are the people who are to board your ship today." But the end part is probably broken. It's not exactly right. She probably missed a few words here.
Make a performance check. I'll give it to you. Make a performance check. Let's see how well you do.
He's been preparing for this day.
I'll say since you're not fluent in the language, it'll require a performance check. Just for giggles.
Okay, it's a 13.
13. You get the first part right, and then you can see you get to the back half, and like her face goes from like, oh, like you speak Tiefling to, I have no idea what you just said. And she goes, common is more than fine.
Certainly. Sorry about that. It always helps me to try to practice a little bit. I don't really have anyone to practice with, so okay.
I'm sorry. What's a stowaway? I'm not sure that's exactly what I am. Because I paid to be on your ship.
You are technically not. However, stowaways are people who hide within the bowels of a ship.
It's a joke.
I don't know. I come from very far north, so I don't know these things.
Oh. Well, no, typically you are not stowaways. You are paying customers, as you said. However, if another Zenthirim ship were to find that we had people who were paying for our services, then we ourselves would be fined. So, in that regard, you are hiding. You are not paying customers.
I see.
Okay.
That way, if we get caught, you get punished, not us.
Right.
Understood,
Captain. And I'm sorry, didn't catch your name.
Oh, I'm Captain Hakat.
Captain Hakat. Thank you, Captain, for allowing us to board your ship. What takes you to White Harbor?
You're paying to go to White Harbor. So we figured before we head back home, we test the waters of the Emerald Isles.
Okay. Oh, so you're not headed there.
Isles.
You're not headed there for anything in particular. You're going because we'd like to go there, and then you're going wherever you're from.
Yes, we'll be heading back to the Isles once we drop you off at White Harbor.
Okay.
But
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight. I don't want to give up this die, guys. This is the one Umbral Oculus die that actually likes me.
18.
Not that good, though. Yeah, you can tell that there's some genuine, like she's being genuine. You're kind of getting the vibe that there's a bit there's something she's not telling you, but also that like they are going back to the Isles and they are only bringing you there because you paid, not because they actually want to go there. That part you can tell is truthful.
Maintaining brooding.
Okay.
Well, my name is Fanara. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Captain, and we appreciate your hospitality.
Well, the ship is yours. There isn't much room, so where you can find it, feel free to make yourself at home on the ship. There may be some room on top of some of the crates at the fore of the ship, as well as at the aft. The benches are obviously yours to sleep on if you need to. To get to White Harbor, if we are rowing and the winds are good and we don't stumble onto any problems, should take only a little more than 2 days.
That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Well, if there's anything else that you need, if I could provide some uplifting entertainment.
Introduce yourself.
For the ship, my name is Joseph, and I appreciate the space that you've offered us here.
Oh, Joseph, the ship is yours.
Fanara's kind of looking like, what? She's a little confused, so she's kind of darting her eyes like back and forth to Perrin.
we're going to prepare to embark now. If you would all mind either going below deck or finding some sort of stable arrangements. I don't know how suitable footing you are at sea, but
We will go below deck and we'll go find somewhere to be out of the way.
as you head below deck, you watch as oars. You hear from above you. You hear oars, and you watch as a bunch of oars pop out of the sides of the ship and begin to push it away from the dock. And then you hear drums and the steady just thum, 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 thum of the drum as the oars or the rowers slowly start to row in cadence, and you begin to push out from the docks of Swaygut into the open water. And that's where we're going to go on break.
Woo!
Yeah. If you are watching and you haven't already put the word barefoot or any iteration of it into chat, please do so now. I didn't re-announce it after the intro, and I should have, but barefoot, Barefoot, and watch as the chaos of writing barefoot already ensues by my wonderful players. But yeah, we're going to go on a quick little more than 5-minute break, and we'll be back soon.
See you soon, guys.
All right, welcome back.
Man of sugar.
He's right. He's made of sugar.
Wait, what's made of sugar?
Eddie is. He's
Oh.
such a sweetheart.
Oh, I thought it was art.
Art's made of butter.
Art's made of butter, yeah. If art's not made of butter, then I don't know what's going on in this world.
I can't believe he's not butter.
Yeah.
Art is just 1/3 of a cake.
Hey, I used that joke earlier, okay? Okay.
So
I approve. Corvus does not.
Hi, Logan. You can
Hi.
now.
no, I'm
All
just.
right, so
I'm
you're all
waiting.
on the boat. And,
This
kidding.
is
Jay,
the Red Hare
Jay,
Inn
DM
where we
the
take
rest
this
of the
game
stuff. You know
very
what? Hang on.
seriously.
I'm gonna play Corvus. Jay, you DM this. Hang on.
First off, that's not fair. Big Corvus is easy. You just stare at the camera.
Playing Corvus.
Oh, well, that's spot on. With the look in the eyes and everything.
Very
Let's
good.
just all be Corvus for a minute.
Well done.
There we go.
Somebody
Yeah.
screenshot right that, right?
We got Jay's seal of approval there.
Excellent, excellent.
All right. As you begin your voyage out into open water, the morning. Actually, I'm gonna make Eden roll a d20.
I will say.
April, if you're listening, I'm going to be rolling a dice that's not mine because I'm rolling the dice that I got out of my candle from April for my birthday.
Oh, how nice.
Fuck you.
Just in case it matters, Corvus has made quick serve tea using his makeshift lantern with the ginger root, peppermint, and bit of his honey with his green leaves. That is provided for anyone who wanted it, specifically for Eden and Panara.
Okay. I would imagine that you immediately give either of them a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They're like small little sake style cups, just to get a quick.
Can I give
little...
myself inspiration?
For what? Are you gonna use channel points for yourself?
Oh, no, it's all right.
You
And
can
then
do that if you want to.
she's gonna pat Eden on the back and be like, "It's all right. You won't die." She's giving guidance right now, so she's patting her on the back. And she's like, "You got this. We can make it through this. I promise you won't die."
Art's gonna request some of that tea just because it sounds tasty.
That is what I rolled, DM.
All right, a 2. So the morning comes.
That's it.
and-
Wait, you didn't use the inspiration or the guidance?
I did, and then it became a 3.
A 3. Okay.
Oh my
So
God.
the morning comes. The water is fairly calm as you head out into the bay in which the Jeweled Isles sit. You can see far off in the horizon a couple separate kind of peaks of land coming towards you as you guys are rowing, or as the crew is rowing closer and closer. When you get a little bit farther out from the dock, Captain Hakat calls for the oars to be stowed for the moment, and for the sail to be dropped down. And so you guys are riding on the waves, just coasting via sail, and the world is your oyster. The morning goes by without much or any incident. As noon comes by and small meals and rations are kind of split amongst the crew, Corvus comes around with tea for Eden and Finara.
Oh, thank you, Corvus. I was feeling a little queasy, so this is perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eden is just sitting in the corner in the fetal position, is just sitting there.
Oh, Corvus.
Yes.
I was wondering, did you want to look through some of the material that we got?
I presume now would be the best time. We have
Yeah, from Garrison.
a few
Words on
days
Street Keeper.
before we
Garrison.
arrive.
Oh, he was the gentleman who gave us a great deal on a lot of literature.
Less literature. Literature.
Oh,
Like
all of
books?
this, and then she's like gonna open her bag, and it's gonna be like even more books than probably Eden has seen before, and she knows that Finara always had books on her.
That's really heavy.
Well,
That's
you get
good
used
stuff.
to it after a while.
Yeah, but if you're really heavy and you hit the water, you're gonna sink to the bottom.
Well, that's when you just take off the bag, and then you can swim back to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Which titles do you have in there?
Oh, well, I have this one book, and then she's gonna pull it out, and it's basically it says Infernal Language and Culture for Dummies, and then there's another one that's and this one is this is about the Malthair collective here, and then I have this one. It's all about the history of Swaygut, and this one it's a common to Sylvan dictionary, but then it's great because now I can pair it with this book that is the Sylvan language, everything you need to know, the basics, and then this one is, and then she's like
you
showing.
want to learn Sylvan?
Yes, I specifically got this because of the fact that I want to practice with you.
That makes me really happy. I really miss speaking it because I sound a lot less stupid when I speak in Sylvan.
It's gonna be great because I had to go through the similar process when I learned, and then she's gonna switch to Goblin. And only Art will hear, like, basically Finara say, I had to practice a little bit, and then I did some worksheets that I made for myself and some flashcards, and then I was able to pick it up, and I made some friends, and we were able to talk and everything. It was great. Oh, sorry, Eden. I switched. Oh, I do that sometimes.
That's really cool.
I would love to join these study sessions. I actually have a fascination for languages. I would love to learn more about these, if that's all right.
Oh, of course. I was actually
you
going to
know
focus on a
Elvish?
different thing here. Oh, yeah, of course.
I can still speak
Unfortunately,
some of that.
Perrin is not really good with Elvish, but I can try to work with him on it, but he never really wants to study with me like that. So
I can also speak this language that the three taught me, and it's like we were talking to like elemental peoples and stuff, and it's really guttural. Yeah, I don't remember what they call it in common. Let me find the give me the dictionary. I bet I can find the word, and then I can find the common word.
oh, sure.
Eden will begin
And then
piling through.
she's gonna turn to Corvus again. This was the information, the tome on that community of Dragonborns, and if you want to look through that, unless you want to look at the scroll on Bahamut.
I'd be more interested in the Bahamut in detail before we dive deep into these kin of the dragons.
Oh, certainly. There you go.
Primordial.
Oh,
primordial.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I don't know a lick of that. But if we can find it on the way, that would be really useful, I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody speaks primordial in the deep
Think-
well area.
It's mostly like elementally people things and stuff.
Hmm.
It was this fire spirit that Hemlock kept joking about sacrificing me to.
What?
It was a joke. It wasn't serious. She can't sacrifice me.
Oh, all right. It's just kind of a weird way of joking around. I'm not used to those kind of jokes. They're a little bit scary. Yeah. But Art, here's the book right here that I've been studying on basic greetings. That's always a great place to start. Kind of like what I did with the captain, but unfortunately I still need to work on my infernal. So I think the last part got a little twisted at the end. But,
Oh, look. This might be good for at least a night or two study. If you don't mind me borrowing this.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I got through the first couple chapters. I need to get to the next, adjectives and whatnot, conjugations. I got to work on that, so I might just try to work on that separately. I've been trying
wonderful.
to create a worksheet. Mm-hmm.
And with that, Art is going to plop right in the middle of the floor, exactly where they are, and just start devouring this book.
Eden is going to summon Grim, and then we'll be like emotional support animaling Grim as she starts to try to kind of make her way exploring the area that they're in. So, because she wants to look out and see things, but she doesn't want to look out and see things,
Fenara's going to position herself next to Corvus and kind of like peek over to like read the scroll.
Yeah, Corvus is reading these details on Bahamut and all details that this scroll had.
Cool. So for Art, you can put a half day, like make a marker somewhere in your notes and start. This is which book did you give him?
This is the Sylvan language.
The Sylvan one. So just mark down Sylvan and then put half a day. Because that'll work you toward proficiency with the language.
Okay.
Because that's something we have to track with everybody now, which is going to be super fun. Everybody's going to learn. Everybody's going to learn every language. I love it. Corvus, you learn opening up and pulling through the scouring through the pamphlet, or the booklet that you were given. That the Platinum Dragon was one of the first, or the Platinum Dragon, Bahamut, was one of the first creatures created by the gods. It was also subsequently one of the first of what would be designated like the mortal races, even though dragons can live forever, but the more mortal races that can die, to ascend from mortality to godhood. Bahamut is a pillar of justice, nobility, and honor. They seek to stop corruption, to smite evil, seek out paragons of justice, show compassion, even though you are smiting evil, showing compassion to those who have strayed from the path. And above all else, defend the weak. Are you looking for something more specific?
Nope. Does any of that seem relevant, important, recall anything, matter even to Corvus? An inkling, or does it just seem like...
I would say... Roll a D20 for me. Or actually, D100.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, thank you.
54.
54. You look over your shoulder as you're reading, and your echo is scanning the words, following you as you do so.
Alarming.
Your echo has very rarely apparated or shown interest in something that you've done. So maybe it's a sign that you're on the right path.
And am I the only one who sees my echo? Or
Yeah,
like,
that's
my
what I was
echo
like,
actually
do I see it? 'Cause I'm
manifest?
like right there.
You're the only one who sees your echo at this time, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
There
Because I was like, I'm right there. Next to
I'll do a
Corvus.
better job of specifying, because there will be times when only you can see your echo, and there will be times when everybody sees your echo. Like when
Yeah,
I was
me and Bernard are
when
both
it's
like,
actually yeah, your echo just like casually like hops up in between the middle of you. It's like, hey, what are you reading?
That would be like the ultimate cock block. Like,
it's like,
just kidding.
That implies there's something to be blocked.
No, there's nothing.
Eden, get back in your corner.
Eden, you can't really see anything below deck. You'll have to go above deck if you want to see anything.
Okay, so Eden clutches Grim and slowly makes her way up
Mm-hmm. As you
and is like talking to Grim and is like, I don't know if you can hear me or who can hear me or what the fuck. I'm really scared, but I got this. We're gonna do the water thing. And then she's just going up this.
So as you stand up and hit this kind of center portion, or the railing portion, and you step out of the galley, you are surrounded by just blue. Just the exact reflection of the sky, except this moves. It shifts. You can see bits of white as foam are starting to, foam is starting to lap from the waves. On the far, far reaches of your vision, you can see bits of land popping up on the horizon, very far off in the distance. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw for me real quick.
Yeah, I got that covered. With the 12?
A 12. The
Don't
boat
make me crush Grim to death.
lurches, and you squeeze Grim, and you feel yourself start to fall off the edge before a hand kind of grabs underneath your elbow, and you turn to see Captain Hakat there beside you.
Sorry.
Do you not have you ever been on a ship before? Is this your first time?
And nope, never been on this ship before. Or been this far away from dry ground. Never at all.
One piece of advice, always keep your hands holding something, and you can see behind you Captain Hakat has her hand like on some rigging that she's kind of grounding herself with as she's grabbing and reaching for your arm.
Eden will reach for one and like let Grim like hang out on her shoulder. Okay.
Your feet may go out from under you, but at the end of the day, as long as you're holding on to something, you won't go overboard.
Noted. How far away are we?
About a day and a half, give or take.
Bad.
The winds are in our favor, and clouds are... While there are bits of clouds here and there isn't any sign of rain. So those are all good signs that the
We're
trip
safe.
should be...
Good.
Yes, safe and good.
Good, okay. Where are you from?
Myself, well, I'm from the Isles. If you wanted me to be more specific, I'm from Kisan.
Kisan. I've never heard of the Isles, only a little bit, like kind of one time, and it was on a map, but I don't know nothing about them. Why do you travel then? Are they pretty or are they gross? Is there a reason you want to leave them?
No, not generally. I lived in Kisan most of my life. When I came of age, I was conscripted into the military. I didn't necessarily want to at first, but I found that the order and stability was what I was lacking in my life. And when I chose to finally accept that, I rose pretty quickly and got my own ship. And now I can kind of do what I want
Oh,
within, the king's wishes. Well, Lord Belaw's wishes.
Lord below?
Yes, king. You guys may use the term king, but we call him emperor in the Isles.
Emperor? I don't have any kind of king. I come from the Feywild.
Huh. I've never met a Fey before. My kind come from. Technically, they say we come from the infernal plains of hell, but
That's what one of my sisters said. But I've never met one in person because I never really got to go anywhere. And so I started checking stuff out. But I was just curious what would make somebody want to leave home. I mean, I know I left home, but... So you fell in line and it worked out better?
yes. Yes, we were able to. I was able to rise up in the ranks. Like I said, I was able to become a quartermaster, and then from there, I eventually was able to become a captain, and now I have my own ship. And
So they taught you to be the better you?
of sorts, yes. They taught me how to be the version of me that I think that I was lacking in my life.
Noted.
Now we sail the Isles and help keep peace and stability there.
That sounds good. It's crazy where I come from. I'm sure you can imagine.
Well, I'm quite sure.
Well, thank you for the advice. I will not keep you from your duties.
You're very fine. Make sure you hold on to something, or else you'll go overboard, and we'll have to turn the ship around, which takes a very long time to do.
I don't want to be in the water. I can't swim, so I will not do that.
Then Hakat lets go of your arm and walks back to the helm, where you see there's this orcish-looking individual behind the helm that she then takes it from him and continues to steer the ship and call out some orders. The sail shifts ever so slightly. Corvus, roll a d20 for me.
That is, be nice dice, 15?
A 15. All right. As your noon meal is made and your afternoon begins, sailing continues. Go ahead and roll me a d10.
I don't like this responsibility. That's a 6.
That's a 6. You hear Hakat make a call. The only one who knows Infernal is Fenara, correct? So Fenara
no.
in Infernal, you hear weather shift and a bunch of other words that you can't quite make out yet, but the one word you do hear is storm.
Storm. Okay, and that's
Storm.
by one of the.
That's by Captain Hakat.
Okay.
And as soon as that happens, you start to see the crew kind of start to move and shift and start to batten down the hatches, so to speak, even though there aren't very many. People are bringing out buckets. And you guys can notice, those of you who poke your heads up, that in the very, very distance, as you guys are continuing on your current heading, that there is a storm forming above some of the islands and looming closer and closer.
Oh, no.
So no?
It's about to get very windy.
What?
Yep, and, excuse me, can I get one of those buckets, please?
You're gonna help there's like a little halfling that's moving a bucket from. Oh, you wanna help drain the water?
Water?
And she's gonna speak in halfling. I'm saying this in our language because my friend. I'm not trying to scare her, but I know that there's going to be one heck of a storm, and my stomach can't handle it. So this bucket's going to be for me, so I don't leave you guys a mess later on. Trust me on this.
Perrin, what are they saying?
They're saying they're gonna move the water out of the boat.
What?
That sometimes the water can. And he just come over here for me for a second, and he leads Eden to like the edge of the ship, and he like just look down. You see where all the? Do you see? Okay. Do you kind of notice? And he like looks. He like looks kind of down, but not all the way down. Do you kind of notice? You see where the oars, the paddles are coming out of? Sometimes the water can splash up inside the ship. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these buckets and we're going to use the buckets to throw the water back out. Because if we get in too much water, the ship can weigh down. So she's going to help.
Oh, okay.
And then Fanara's going to turn around like, even like really awkwardly, even though that's definitely not what she asked for the bucket for.
So, in preparation, the crew is going to handle most of the oars do come out. They're going to try to, it seems like as the storm is rolling in, they're going to try to use the oars to kind of not necessarily fight the waves, but to help better put themselves in positions to handle them. Oh, did we get a hydrate?
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Thank
Taryn,
you.
Taryn, drink your water. Drink your damn water.
Again? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we got two.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Apparently we're too thirsty.
Yeah.
I'm
Won't be the last.
I'm overly hydrated today, actually, for once ever. It's been like 50 bottles of water.
But the main portion of the crew is going to be handling either the oars or bilging. You have a couple people who are up above deck who are going to help with manage the sails. But is there any way in which the five of you would like to help out with this process?
Eden will tie herself to whatever center mast there is.
Okay.
Like she just starts druid crafting vines upon vines until she is just like on there. But Eden will be prepared with Briar's Reach and Thorn Whip and other things to help be a rope or make ropes and help things if things go crazy in that regard. But otherwise, Eden is secured to the mast at the moment because she is terrified.
Okay. Do me a favor. Go ahead and make a spell check.
A spell check? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, roll and then add your spell attack to it.
Okay. So that is a 22.
Okay. Yeah, that was just to see how successfully you druid craft vines that will keep you on this mast while you're, being tossed around by the ocean. You feel pretty confident that they are solid and rooted in, and that you won't be shifted around.
Yeah, they feel very woody, similar to the Briar. Like they're super. Yeah, they're probably not exactly the nicest of vines, but she doesn't go anywhere.
That's fine. And then you hear like Hikago, oh, my ship. Oh no, and like because like to get to the center mast, you're like dead center in the center of the galley, so it's coming up from the very bottom hole of the ship and like reaching up and spinning around, and yeah, so that's gonna be fun to clean up later. But you're good there. Awesome. You got Briar's Reach on deck. Anybody else?
Art is still nose deep in the book, and basically if the ship starts rocking, Art will probably just like slide while still reading the book. However, if Art gets wet at any point, he'll probably, pay attention then.
Fanara is going to reach out for Perrin, like Perrin's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to feel that warmth and that kind of, it's like that glowing light that's going to surround the hands. Tell me why we decided to go on a ship again?
Equilateral distance. We're trying to get somewhere faster, which and we're doing it. We sure as heck are doing it. because what would have taken us a month, we're doing in 2 days.
Yeah.
We were moving real fast there, darling. And if you can hold
Don't
on,
mention movement.
if you could maintain your lunch, you will you will not regret any more time on this ship. I would recommend
Stay close to me, just in case.
I'm not going anywhere. And he
Oh,
kind of
while
looks.
Eden is like
Yeah.
sticking herself to the.
He looks back at Eden, who's like stuck herself to the mast, and he's just like, okay, so there's 2 of you. So he
And
just
there was the bond that basically
Yeah.
Fanara did in that moment of desperation.
so he's gonna like hold her hand while holding on to the ledge of the ship. Close your eyes. You know what? Actually, sit down. Just sit down.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Alright.
and you'll just ground yourself a little better. Close your eyes and just deep breath in, deep breath out. We're all gonna be, and he cracks open one eye, looks back over at Eden, who is like just more wound up in briars, and then looks back at Finara. Okay, we're just gonna relax and take it easy.
Corvus, anything for you?
There's a wall of sorts, right?
A wall?
A wall of sorts.
A wall of
There's
sorts? Like,
There is a piece of wood that is vertical in which a individual could lean against. Yes,
on the deck or below deck?
on the deck.
Yeah, on the deck. Yeah, there's a railing on the outside of the ship, so that way people don't fall over. Like they're not animals.
So Corvus is going to lean against that because that's what Corvus wants to do,
Okay.
and the Echo will be, or the Phoenix will be manifesting in the middle of the ship, and that is it. Corvus is arms crossed, brooding, leaning, with the whip fully extended at 50 feet length, just in case, coiled up.
Okay, so you got your whip out, but you're just casually leaning, and yeah,
Just brooding and waiting.
brooding and waiting for the storm to come in. Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. You continue on. Captain Hakat kind of looks either way. Stop. Terran. The ship continues to move forward. The waves start to get a little bit rockier. At this point, Finara, Eden, you can feel, everybody, you can feel the shifting of the waves move the boat up and around and up and around and up and around. At some point, it starts, soft trickle of rain comes down and starts pelting those of you guys who are below deck, or above or below deck, as long as you aren't undercover, starts pelting your head. And the rain just starts coming down. The waves slowly start, Art.
I was gonna say, the moment Art feels any water on his head, he's going to, still nose in the book, get up, move somewhere where there's no water overhead, and sit back down and continue reading.
All right. I need everybody to give me, let's see, dexterity saving throws, even if you're below deck. I think Finara or Eden's below deck for sure. Finara and Perrin are below deck.
I'm also tied to
Or
a mast.
Or are you above
so-
deck?
Well, we were above deck because I had her look. I had
Yeah.
Eden look over the edge, and then so technically we're up where all of the madness is happening.
Okay.
But
I'm also
We're-
secured to a giant wood thing. Can I have
Secured.
advantage?
On your dexterity save, yes, you can have advantage.
Where were we
I
when the
mean,
books
some
came
would
out?
say I got jokes, but I'll keep them to myself so we don't all have to say tee hee.
Mm-hmm.
Strapped might say.
yeah,
Calm down.
Yeah.
We knew it was happening. Anyways, that's a 21.
Cool.
Perrin really centered Fanara, so she got a nat 20 for a 22.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Perrin has let go of Finara and thus ungrounded himself and rolled an 11.
An 11.
Corvus got a 12, so Corvus is just slightly more prepared than Perrin, but only slightly.
Okay. And Art, how'd you do?
Well, nose deep in a book, Art was lost to the rest of the world and rolled a 9.
Wow. Okay. Now, Art.
Wait. Did you roll the D4?
Oh no, I did
Renee?
I did. Yes, I did.
Renee,
Okay.
That was with us.
Oh, Art, you don't get any help. You and I are.
Sorry.
Art,
You
I
already
would have
has
imagined. I would have imagined you were below decks reading, or were you above deck reading?
That's a good question.
Art.
I was wherever we were when Finara pulled out the books, because
Okay.
Art did not move from that
So
spot.
then I would say probably below deck then, because you were below, like you guys went below deck when you embarked, and then books and all that stuff came out, and then some of you guys went above deck. So Art,
That's right.
you thankfully, though you fail your dexterity save, you tumble from one end of the ship just over to the other, the book kind of crunching as you roll to the opposite side. Eden, you feel the ship sway and move, but you are very confident and secure in your vines holding you to the mast of this ship. Finara, you feel grounded, like you said. Perrin giving you the
I'm
strength. that
holding
you
my
need.
bucket.
You're holding your
right.
your emotional support bucket, and as you're
His
sitting
name's
there,
Steve.
It's named Steve.
Steve the bucket.
Steve, the
the
emotional
bucket.
support bucket, and you close your eyes for a moment after Perrin's talk as the waves start to get more difficult and bumpier and shaky, and you start to just kind of move. Like your body shifts and moves with the waves themselves. And so you're able to kind of compensate for those shifts with your own body movements. Perrin, the first couple, you get your feet, and then you let go of Finara, and you were kind of relying on Finara's body language to kind of steer you in a direction of how you should shift your body with the waves. And before you know, a wave hits the starboard side of the ship and rocks, and you start to go tumbling off the edge. Similarly, Corvus, you're leaning very casually onto this railing, and it just leans the ship, and now you're lateral, and you're tumbling over the railing.
Briar's reach to both of them.
Make a those are
Sorry.
attack rolls,
I didn't mean
correct?
to laugh.
Yes,
They
they
are
are.
attack
Make attack rolls.
Inventory.
I can just picture
Technically,
this.
yeah,
Okay.
that's okay. We're good. We got this.
Oh.
How about
Who are you?
Oh,
let's
man,
let's pick who you going for first.
that is a 25 to get Perrin,
Okay.
Oh, easy. Yeah. Uh-huh.
and then an 18 to get Corvus. Wait, I have advantage because of the thing. That is now a 21 to get Corvus.
That would work.
That would work.
That would work.
All right. So those go out. Go ahead and roll damage for me, but they'll take half
Oh god.
because you're being careful.
I am surely being careful.
I mean, unless you're not, in that case, they can take.
No, I am being careful. So they are the same. It is 6 apiece.
6. Well, that was halved.
No, that's total.
That's total. So then
So
you each
three
take
Six,
damage.
so
Great.
3 and 3.
Yeah, the way we're
Yeah.
gonna roll friendly spell effects that do damage will be you roll and then it's half. They take half damage because you're trying.
Sure.
Because you're pulling back on the spell a little, but you can't not do damage on a spell.
Right. Yeah.
So then my next question is this though, because I make the vines, it can grab them.
Mm-hmm.
I then have to hold said vines.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
In that moment, Eden will also scream out Lyran's name, and black will ink across her eyes, and her irises were going to turn very red. Her ears will elongate a little bit, and she will get quite muscular as she is gripping the absolute hell out of those vines, and she suddenly looks a lot stronger. There's a
Sure.
All right.
Am I like technically grappled, or is this like just...
Yeah, the two
Yeah.
of you are. Is it grappled and restrained, or is it just grappled?
It's just oh, it says restrained.
It's restrained. So
Yeah.
you guys are fully no movement.
I'm being held.
Corvus, I know you were waiting to use your whip for something, so I don't mind reactionarily as the vines are coming at you if you're doing something else with your whip, preemptively.
I was gonna do nothing with my whip.
I'm-
I was just gonna teleport and swap with my echo and get back on the ship.
Oh yeah, you can 100% do so the vine connects, and as it's starting to wrap around you, you go, yeah, no, and you swap with your echo, and the echo is in your place, and then before you know it, the coils go around your echo and pull. And
And if it
dissipates.
Yeah, because it would. Yeah. So now I'm on the other side of the ship, casually leaning.
And
You
Eden's
went
just,
from to that.
holding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you're holding. Go ahead and give me an athletics check there, Eden. To
Okay.
pull.
Just a casual weight shift.
Okay, here we go.
Just a casual.
That is a 21 for athletics.
Yeah, too easy. You're able to start to pull Perrin. You get him up over. Perrin, when you kind of get to the point where you have to help yourself pull over, your head kind of hits.
Right. And he points over to the is it the captain or the orc who's on the helm right now?
Right now, you see Hakat is manning the helm.
Right. Hey, listen. And he just pulls the loot over as he's being like pulled up back onto the boat. And you all hear Perrin's loot. Wow! And he starts playing Barracuda. So I'm giving the captain a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
On a check to maintain, or on they have a bardic inspiration, whatever.
I feel you. I knew what you were doing. I'm gonna make a check to make sure that the ship stays stable, and that everything goes smoothly. That's a.
Got me down.
Oh, that's a. That
on
was
my
a D. That was a
knees.
D12. I just rolled on accident.
Close enough.
It wasn't because it was a 9.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that would have been, but
On
no,
a D12, on a D20, that's like a
Yes.
15.
on a D20. No, this one's better. It's going to be a 14 plus 2 for a 16 for the captain.
Nice.
The captain's
Plus a
able.
D6.
That was with the D6.
Ah,
Yeah, only a 2 on the D6, unfortunately. Listen, I'm rolling Terran's dice for NPCs, so even when you want the NPCs to be helpful, they probably won't.
They roll well for like everybody except for you and Ronan.
Well, that explains a lot.
To be fair, I did roll an Umbral Oculus die for the Nat 20
yeah.
with Steve.
That's Steve.
But anyway,
Just know the story.
But no, Captain Hakat manages to control the ship. About a good 15 minutes go by of this kind of constant shifting and moving. By the time that you guys get that first real bump, those of you who are like, yeah, this probably isn't for me, go back below decks. Some of you guys are like, okay, well, now I know what to expect. You grab some rigging or something to help stabilize you at this point. The only thing I do need is I need Finara and Eden. Actually, you're really angry right now, so that would...
Well, she's not enraged. She's just really
You're
strong.
just really strong. Okay, then yeah, con saving throws from both of you.
Okay.
With advantage.
Well, actually, here's the thing. So that wears off after about 10 minutes.
Oh my God. I'm not lying. Another Nat 20.
Have it.
Not lying. 22.
That's an 11.
An 11.
Wait.
So,
Oh, that's the second time I got a Nat 20 and then someone got an 11. Oh no.
Yeah, so as Eden's, like, returns back to normal and goes back to her usual self.
Uh-oh.
So
Oh,
as you're
no,
turning
no,
back to
11.
normal, and your muscles are
Thank you,
fading,
Steve.
um,
Thank you.
you unfortunately don't have the bond of an emotional support bucket like Finara does, and you immediately start to vomit. Get
Is this
seasick.
from the
Oh,
motion
no.
sickness?
And
They
it's
have my herbal tea.
down.
Oh, they do. You know what?
That's why I said I thought it sounded like it was
Advantage?
I will give you I'll give you an inspiration die, so I'll give you a d6.
Okay.
Nope. It's better than nothing. It's basically
one?
nothing, isn't it?
Is it 12? Save my ass from vomiting?
Wow.
A 12. I'll say it saves you from vomiting, but you're extremely nauseous.
This
Like you're on
is
the
going
verge.
into dice jail, in case anybody wondered.
Yep.
I'm mad at you. Bad baby.
But yeah, and then Finara, you over there with your emotional support bucket, Steve, just
We can make it through this, Steve.
you.
Believe in us. We are one. You and I. We are like the earth and sun. Yes. She's just like literally into this like whole mantra.
It's oh my gosh.
She does some weird things when she's afraid.
Yep.
It's great. Your god isn't watching you worship the wooden bucket, but it's cool.
I'm not worshiping. I'm saying we're one.
No.
We're becoming one in this moment.
But you feel weirdly, the trip out on your ship to get to Swaygut, you were, dry heaving and nauseous and throwing up or getting seasick in one way or another almost the entire journey, to the point where when the party first met you, you were already sick. You were still sick. But now something's starting to change. You're feeling the vibe of the ocean. The vibe that you felt when you're in the water, you're now feeling above it as well. You eventually come out of the storm. It takes some time for them to get the galley water free, and they bring some blankets to kind of sop up and wring out over the edge for that water that they can't get with the buckets. You're drenched, but the sun is coming out, and it begins to warm your skin and dry out your clothing as you continue the afternoon and evening. As night falls, are you guys going to set up your own watches, or are you going to trust in the crew of the ship?
Oh, I trust the crew.
Sure.
This is no reason not to trust them.
Also,
Oh no,
Perrin-
he took a sip.
Oh
Perrin,
no,
on
we
this-
gotta hydrate.
We got to hydrate.
Indeed.
Oh, I thought that was like a ominous like.
Yes, I'm just going to...
On a
Also,
side note, you were supposed to protect me, not the other way around.
Well,
You
You're
were a
right.
damsel.
I mean, and he just kind of like tosses his hair that doesn't exist beyond his fucking ears. I would make a wonderful damsel.
That's funny. I almost forgot how sick I feel. I'm gonna go sit down now. And
Oh,
then
yes,
eats like
please.
books and is like looking for tea. And just sits down after,
When it's calm, Corvus will make a second batch of tea.
Eden will drink 2 cups.
How much time has passed? Just out of curiosity.
The majority... At this point, we're leading into afternoon, into evening.
Okay. How far into the book have I gotten?
Well, so with language, it's based on time studied and not necessarily on how far into the book that you've gotten. I guess if that makes any sense. So
Fair. Well,
you would have spent.
I've been reading this whole time.
If you've
so-
been reading the whole time, other than the storm, I'll give you the half day will be extended to a full day towards your proficiency. Yeah, the books since they're books on language, it's one thing to read a book. It's another thing to learn a language via reading a book.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, does it make a difference if one happens to have a keen mind?
Ooh. You know what? It might, but that's gonna be homework for the DM post session. And I'll get back to you later this week, because that's a really good question. Keen mind would be very helpful because you're recalling all the information that you've on top of the new information. That works. Yeah. We'll figure out a mechanic for that. But yeah, so yeah, you
I
can
will
bump
make
up
the most of this feat.
you can bump up your reading to a full day. Corvus, when you make the tea, you see a half-orc, probably late teens, early 20s, kind of very shakenly get up from the oar that he's sitting at and make his way over toward you and sit down. He produces a small cup, or like ale horn. Can I have some?
Corvus stares broodingly, then pours from the portable teapot and pours an additional one for himself, picks it up, and does like a bow with the cup, kind of like a customary greeting, and then drinks.
The half-orc nods his head and kind of sits. He sits on the floor there and thank you, and brings it to his lips and like takes a sip, and he goes, "Oh, that feels good." And then just like almost downs it. Like he takes a couple minutes to like make sure he's not burning his mouth, but drinks it pretty quickly before going back to his seat and turning and thank you again.
Of course. And goes back to brooding.
Night falls. Is anybody staying up? Is anybody doing anything that would be considered not sleeping?
Banara is studying the Infernal still, especially since there are so many people to practice with on the ship. She's trying to make sure that she doesn't mess up like she did when she first introduced herself to the captain.
Okay. Yeah, you can add, since it's leading in. Are you doing that like the afternoon into the evening?
Yes.
Okay. You can add a half day.
Hey.
And then, cool. That happens. Art. I see fingers. I see you going like this.
Art's going to take a break from reading this book and go to find Finara. Did you still happen to have that book on the Malthier Collective?
Oh, yeah, yes. 1 second. And then she's going to reach in her bag, and then, there we go.
Oh, thank you. By the way, this Sylvan book has been absolutely fascinating. I just haven't been able to take my eyes off of it.
I know. It's so interesting, the language. You know, I think it has a little bit of oomph to it, and you really have to try to get the certain consonants. You have to make sure that you really pronounce those correctly, or else the whole meaning is wrong.
Art's going to give a response that's essentially a slightly more spruced up version of Donde está la biblioteca?
That's really good. That's more than I was able to do initially. That's great.
Oh yeah. No, this has been great. I feel like I've been picking this up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need this back, or can I hold on to it?
I've been focusing on Infernal since obviously the captain and other people on the ship are speaking this language, so it's okay for now. I'll probably get it back from you a little bit later, so feel free.
Okay, thank you. And Art's gonna run off with the Malthier Collective book.
All right. You glance through that, or take some time to glance through that before heading to sleep. It's a cursory history talking about the founding of Seirun, or what is known as the singular mage tower, in which the mageocracy of the Malthier Collective resides. It didn't start as the Malthier Collective. It just started as a collective of mages who wanted to learn and wanted to study, and they thought the best place to do that would be out in the middle of nowhere, so that way they couldn't harm anyone. Over time, they almost create their own. They become self-dependent as different sorts of mages and now druids and caretakers of the land come in to bring them, are able to cultivate food for them. The other nations slowly grow curious and a little bit afraid of a conglomerate of mages and spellcasters being in one place. So they eventually lead into them forming their own semi-nation. And that's where you get to before you fall asleep.
We'll see how much that I actually managed to type out. We'll see.
Night falls. You all get your long rest. As the sun comes up on the second day, Finara, roll a d20 for me.
All right. Come on, Steve.
Praise Steve.
Oh, I think I used up all of Steve's magical juice. That's only a 4.
Only a 4. Thankfully, Steve is with you, as the morning is yet again a clear, calm, sunny morning. You pass through a series of islands in the center of the Jeweled Isles. A couple smaller, islands that just look like beaches with like a handful of trees, but then you see a couple that have lush forests as you get to the Jeweled Isles themselves. On either side, you're passing through like this reef. You look down into the water below, and you can see as you're getting closer to some of these smaller islands that there are bits of coral reef down below in the waters below. Fish are swimming. Occasionally you'll see a shark or a stingray or a dolphin kind of pop up. But the morning goes on without a problem, without an issue. Perrin, roll a d20 for me.
I'd make a beautiful damsel. What was I saying? Who? What the? Oh! 9.
9.
Sorry.
Your roll a d6 for me.
Yeah. 5.
5. All right, let me look. You see off in the horizon, coming in your general direction, sails.
I thought you were going to say fart, but thank
Fart. You see a fart coming in your general direction, yes. No, you see sails on the horizon making their way towards you as you're standing on the deck of the ship. It's a nice day. The sea is calm. There aren't many waves, and so being on the deck isn't very difficult.
Seeing the sails, I'm gonna find that halfling that was around earlier. And I'm just gonna point to the sails that I see in the distance. Could you tell me if that's a ship we should be worried about?
One second, and he goes below deck real quick, and you hear like a trunk being opened and slammed shut real quick before he pops back up with a periscope or a telescope and looks out and closes it. I'm not quite sure. I don't see any They're not flying any colors. Sails are clean. Also, I'm not really from here, so I don't know what's considered dangerous and friendly, really. I mean, we've experienced some ships, but not generally a whole lot.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm, not a sailor myself, and so figured I'd ask somebody who'd be more astute. And then in Halfling, I will say conscript? Question mark.
In Halfling back, he said, yeah, we all kind of are at some point. Some enlist, but yeah, I'm conscripted.
Huh.
I'm out of Oakshire Bay. He says back to you in Halfling.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite a ways.
When the Zenthirim, and he's still talking to you in Halfling, when the Zenthirim took over, they didn't really give people my age a choice. It was conscript or they burned the island, and so I'm here. Captain Hakat's good people, though. I wouldn't, she's conscripted too, but she's more of a lifer than I think I'll end up being. You from there?
Not really. Family moved to Kantor a long time ago. I used to hear in my stories from my mother that there was maybe some resistance that was rising up. You ever heard anything about that?
Well, yeah. There's resistance everywhere. Actually, a cousin of mine. Funny enough, when they first the Zenthirim first settled Oakshire Bay, my cousin rightfully pissed off the governor, and she ended up getting exiled. I moved out here, so I'm actually, every once in a while when we come into port, I look around and see if she's around. But yeah, there's resistance. We get into skirmishes with what we call pirates, but really they're just, well, I mean, they are pirates because they still do some looting here and there. But they're people like you and I who want to get rid of the Zenthirim from their own shores versus get rid of them for good.
What's stopping you from joining?
I really respect Captain Hakat. And while Captain Hakat is a lifer, she hasn't bought into the dogma, if that makes any sense.
But you're still doing their bidding.
Oh, yeah. And then we're also making profits on the side by transporting good people like you from time to time. I mean, there are some things we choose not to do. Most of the runs that we do are between Kantor and the Isles. We try to very specifically to stay out of naval engagements when we can. Like I'm sure the captain will moving forward toward this ship.
What's so your travels? What are they mostly about? What do you do for the Zentir?
Well, we do a lot of scouting operations on some of the islands. So we'll go in and we'll check. We try to be the gentle hand before the fist.
Interesting. Well,
at least that's how Hakat puts it, because more often than not, we land and then like a half hour later, the rest of the fleet shows up. So that's always fun. But yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe if things change, you know, if Zenthirs send out requests or demands that you don't feel are right, maybe you put it to the captain that that's not something you want to do. Maybe you decide to change course.
I'd try my best. Yeah, I'd try my best. I'd see what happens. I can't make any promises in that regards, but if I didn't want to do something, I wouldn't do it, and I'd find a way to not do it.
And you're sure the captain would feel the same?
She wouldn't court-martial me for disobeying her orders, I don't think. She'd let me she'd let me stand by while those who wanted to pursue that course of action pursued it. It wouldn't be the first time, so.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. And he goes below deck, or before he goes below deck, he just, Captain, ship on the horizon, coming our way. And you can immediately see she's like, all right, and starts oars out, and the oars start to shift, and she calls to go starboard, and they kind of shift course slightly, not enough to really affect your travel very much at all. Maybe like by another half hour, but diverts course to avoid the other ship. Ever so slightly. You can still see it off on the off in the distance, but the ship kind of continues going. It looks to be a sailing ship, 2 levels, armament almost similar in size to what you guys have on the galley. The crew looks to be about a dozen or a couple dozen more. They have bows, you can tell, or at least see from this distance. They have bows kind of knocked and drawn, but no signs of aggression, really. More of just precautionary, because they may not have recognized the heraldry on the ship.
Right.
The rest of the day goes on without issue. For those of you who wished to have been studying during this time, you could add a full day to your studies. About right before dinner time, Hakat comes down or comes to where you are, Finara, and says, in Infernal, so you wish to learn.
And Finara smiles immediately and responds, "Oh yes," in Infernal.
All right. The best way to learn is by doing. And over probably the next, I don't know, hour, before dinner, and then like an hour after dinner, Hakat sits with you and begins teaching you some more casual, greeting type phrases to say, help correcting you when you're wrong. So you can add a quarter day to your list on top of that day that you got, because you got extra training from an expert.
Oh. I really, really appreciate your tutelage. Thank you so much. I agree. I think that practical know-how, it goes a long way. So I'm really grateful for you to even taking time out of everything that you're already doing for us and everyone else on the ship, and making us, have a safe journey to where we're going. So thank you for taking that time with me.
You're very welcome. It's not every day that we see somebody going out of their way to learn our mother tongue, since Lord Emperor Bilal has decreed that all of the Isles be under Zenthir rule. Not many people from the Isles and beyond have gone out of their way to learn Infernal.
Well, it's my firm belief that we should all try to understand each other a little bit better. I think that's the best way to, I don't know, for all of our people to find peace in some way. If we have an understanding of each other and our cultures and learn to communicate with each other better, I feel like maybe certain unfortunate events could have been avoided.
And you could see clearly loss of words when you said that. Yes. Yeah. This is very true. Well, I have to get back to the helm. You have a good rest of your night. Thank you for the conversation, and thank you for your willingness to learn.
And then Fanara's gonna basically say in Infernal, same to you as well. Have a good evening, to the best of her ability.
And you are able to do so because you were taught.
Yay.
Any more evening activities for people?
Actually, yes. Corvus would like to brood.
All right.
Brooding,
All right.
brooding is a free action.
Brooding is a free action.
Not this kind of brooding. My brooding is like expert level. It's at least a bonus action.
It's at least about. Oh my god.
Well, because my brooding involves summoning Phoenix to brood with me.
Oh, you ultra brood.
Yeah.
I brood in layers.
Oh my god.
So
The only thing Eden will do at some point is like she will mess around like with the part of the crown that they cut out that grew back.
Yeah.
She will take one of the leaves from her crown and she will reach into her cauldron and pull out one of the like little bud things. And Eden's just like holding her leaf by those to see if they're similar.
Okay. Make a nature check.
Okay. Should have saved my. Oh, that's fine. That was a natural 20 plus 3.
Okay.
23.
20. There's a degree of similarity. One is more of like a. Yours have a. What's a word? Like a softness to it. Like it feels like a raw, like not a raw flower, but like a flower that's starting to bud and bloom and very full of life. And the other one in your other hand feels almost like stiff and like just very, very dark coloration, very dry. But size and look are close to identical, not quite the same, but like pretty similar.
Eden will put it back in there in the cauldron. And go about the evening.
All right. Perrin, roll a roll. You know what you're doing, so I
Yes.
trust you to roll your
yes.
rolls and just tell me your numbers.
Yes. You got it. You got it.
It'll be twofold. You know which is the first and which is the second.
Okay.
Or you should. I'm hoping you read my mind.
Yep. Let me just double check here.
I'm thinking right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hey, look at that. We're mind melding.
I got you, buddy. I got you.
We might be siblings.
I could potentially be. No one's checked our DNA. That is a shit. That's a 10.
Okay.
And then a natural 20.
A 10 and a natural 20. All right. Hang on. Let me look. Okay. Well, actually, it'd be -5 because they're all sleeping. So yeah, cool. All right. You managed to do the thing that you wanted to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do the thing that you think that you should do.
I thank you very much. I do a thing with the thing, and then from there,
Triggers an opportunity attack from me.
well, no. What I'll end up doing is I will before the night's end, I will find my sister, and I will just fall asleep near her somewhere.
Okay. Definitely doable. You all, Art?
Oh, the one thing that Art is going to be doing is we're just continuing reading, but doing the thing where we're lying down on our stomach, legs kicked up in the air, and mindlessly just munching on snacks, and then not looking, just taking a snack and handing it to Tulkar, still eyes fixated on the book.
Okay. Wait, which one is this? Are you looking at the...
Is there any more to read in the Malthier Collective book?
The Malthier one kind of goes more into, like, it's more of a, from there is a brief overview of the history. At one point it talks about what they call the disruption, which is when the mages attempted to cast a ritual that ended with the destruction, not the destruction of the physical tower, but the destruction of everybody within it, and then creating almost like a Chernobyl-like effect within a radius of the tower. Not everybody died, and those that survived picked up the pieces and reestablished what was just like the pre-group of mages into what the Malthier Collective is now. So that way the mages, or the Malthier Collective, have a structured and organized way of conducting research without causing that sort of harm. As well as spreading that knowledge across Cantor at that point. Because they realized that they should have ultimately chose to share their knowledge versus hoarding it and garnering distrust.
Okay.
So that sums up the rest of it. Or the most of it. The most of the rest of it.
And I imagine that Art's going to fall asleep face first in the book with an open bag of pocket bacon spilling out onto the floor.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Roll a d20 for Dulkar.
Any modifiers?
No, just roll straight d20.
Don't
16.
you hurt that sweet baby.
I'm not going to hurt the sweet baby. Jesus.
16.
16. Okay. Dulkar is going to, once you fall asleep and like the pocket bacon is like spewed on the ground, is going to kind of crawl out of the bag that you've been feeding bits of pocket bacon, is going to follow the trail of pocket bacon, and then is going to stick their head into the bag of pocket bacon and just kind of fall asleep with their head in the bag of pocket bacon.
That's acceptable.
Thank you. I'm glad I got your seal of approval on that one. But no, night falls, morning rises, and you only have about an hour left, or an hour or two left of your journey at sea. The passage has been mostly clear. Other than that storm, there's not been many dangers or difficulties for you. And you can see off on the horizon as you're making your way the coast of Cantor just continuing to stretch all along as far as the eye can see in either direction. And as you make your way to White Harbor, the final leg of the journey, that's where we're going to call tonight's session.
Yay.
Ooh.
Thank you all for watching. Put the word barefoot, BAREFOOT, in chat for your chance to win a beautiful Umbral Oculus D20 that actually let me roll a natural 20 today. That's the only reason why you didn't get full price on, or why the gems didn't pay for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, while we're waiting for people to do the barefoots, everybody go around the horn, do your shtick, talk about you and the things you're doing, or don't talk about them. That's your choice. Yeah, Eden.
Hi, everybody. Taryn Hackett, also known as Val, Rook across the socials, a generally creative human, TTRPG player and GM, Eldritch entity, and a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice. And apparently, unless you are Logan and or Ronan Fox, the dice roll great for you. I don't know. It's a thing. You can catch me over on the Initiative Order streaming sometimes. I've got another campaign coming up of the Sci-Fi Variety official announcements to come. Spoiler, I can't give you to them, but you should be paying attention to the socials and you'll get to see what happens, because I've got a really cool cast and we'll be starting up mid-June. I also have a D&D project that I can't really blurb about just yet, but also really excited. It's funny because most of the things I'm working on have references to dust.
Yep. I would agree with that. And with that, I am Renee Beauregard. I am one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. You can find us at Dragon Rock RPG on Facebook and Twitter, and our Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram. We are likely putting out our druids sometime in the future. Don't know when that's going to happen, but we'll let you know if you keep an eye on our socials. We are currently compiling and getting dates confirmed for the next iteration of Mythical Melee, which will be Mythical Melee Super Smash Brothers. And I know that you two want to play. I get it.
I really just want to be Snake, though. Like, if I'm honest, I just want to be Solid
You just want to be in a
Snake.
box the entire time.
I just want to just be in a box.
Listen, I want to only communicate by going,
oh boy,
Pika, the entire time.
I'm just kidding.
for
I will throw this out there. I understand we have all of the things.
Mhm.
However, if I do join, I will meme every fucking thing I do. Anyway,
I'm sure that's the case. So keep an eye on our socials. I'm here every other Tuesday. I know that my compatriot Daniel Lieberman and I just did a podcast very recently talking about homebrew and how we do what we do with a podcast called 19 Hits the Dragon. You can check that out on all of the podcasts available places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc., etc. So check that out, and you can hear how Daniel and I do our work and our theories and philosophies on homebrewing. Oh, there's a baby!
It's the birthday.
It's a birthday girl.
It's the birthday girl, Artemis. She wanted to say hi, but now she's shy. But yes, that's my dog, guys. It's her birthday, so you got a little bit of Artemis love. And that means it's good luck for you for the entire week. There you go. I'm making that up, but I'm a firm believer of that. Anyway, I am Brianna. I go by Utahime. I am a cosplayer and TTRPG enthusiast and performer. If you are interested in any of either of the things I mentioned, follow me on at Utahime Cosplay and Brianna DeCosta on Twitter. Tomorrow you can catch me at 6:30 Pacific time for the continuation, the next episode of the day shift on Renegade Games. We're doing Hunter the Reckoning, and it's already been a crazy wild ride so far. I play Angelique Angel Dubois, who is a club owner, and there was a wolf that just tore one of my staff members to shreds. So yeah, we will see what happens. And you can also catch me on Friday for Emerald Templars, a playtest on Latinx and Games. That _ D'Angelo is running us through an awesome game. It's going to be lots of shenanigans. If you want to catch that, that's 5 p.m. Pacific time this Friday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But there's a lot of fun stuff to come. And those who are attending Gen Con, I will be there. So I hope to see you.
Art.
Oh, wait, that's me. Hi, everyone. Oh,
That was
boy.
my bad. My transition is not as good as Jay's. I'm sorry.
You know, it's okay because, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere, but clearly I'm not here in this moment. But I am now. So, hi, everyone. I'm Eddie, otherwise known as the Discount Bard. You can find me on all the socials at Discount Bard, where you can follow my shenanigans and overall craziness on both Twitch and elsewhere. You can normally find me on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings up to various shenanigans, whether that be piratey shenanigans, exploring as foxy adventurers, or coming to wonderful channels like this one and getting to play fun characters. So yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let's pass it on to Casual.
Oh, hey. What can I say? Corvus is who I play, but you can call me Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just2Casual. You're welcome.
Yeah, and he has this thing called Ecriom he's doing. It's an anime TTRPG that is going to be awesome. So go check him out for all that.
It has cat people, and that's the most important part.
It does.
And unless Casual decides to expand upon his spiel and make it better, I'm going to emphasize that the cat people are the best part of the game.
Yeah.
It is, especially because they're all the ones they're the enemies you have to face and eliminate as soon as possible.
Oh, man.
That's absolutely
that
not
shot's
true.
fired.
Because I've read part of the book.
Cool.
So that's just not true.
Great.
You can check that out at animednd.com.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah, lots of cool homebrew stuff inspired by anime and manga and things that Jay should talk more about because I'm not qualified to. But anyway.
Don't make us get catty on you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna... Cool. I'm gonna close entries for this, and we're gonna pick a winner. Johnny Torres, again, wins another... he's gonna have like a full set of D20s from
Let's go.
Oculus.
What is a full set of D20s? That makes me nervous.
7 D20s?
Oh, okay.
70
I
20s.
think he's won like this will be his
70-20s?
This will be his third
Yeah.
D20 that he's won.
Or more, and he can make a wish to the Umbra Oculus Dragon.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh my gosh. If you get enough, maybe
Say what?
Yeah, but no. We're going to go raid our friends at Perception Studios. They're playing D&D.
Oh my.
Yeah, it looks like D&D. Yep, they're playing D&D. So we're going to go raid them. Give them a pint on the house, on us, here at the Red Hare Inn. Until next time, guys, stay safe and happy adventures. Bye, all.
Bye, everybody.
What's an adventure?
What?